Hello, my name is Larry Hiles. I'm the preaching minister at the Milford Church of Christ. Thank you for taking the time to watch or listen to this message. Please feel free to share it with friends. Also, if it's impacted your life in any way, reach out to us and let us know how. If you live in the Centerburg or Mount Vernon area, we'd love to have you be our guest. We're located at 3648 Johnstown Road in Centerburg, Ohio. We look forward to the opportunity of meeting you.
Good morning. My name is Russell. I'm the youth minister here, if you don't know me. I'm normally downstairs. I don't want that to make a big noise. Just a quick announcement. If you've been trying to call me and I haven't called you back, it's not because I don't want to. Somehow I've locked myself out of my phone. That's not funny. I've had 17 tries to put in the right password. I'm down to the last try. The people at the phone place say I got one chance after it. If I don't get it this time, it's close to self-destruct. It'll go back to factory settings and I have to put in the first password I ever put in, which I think I have. And it'll either work or self-destruct. So if I haven't called you back, I may call you back later today. But Larry's on vacation today. Him and April went on a cruise, as I call a floating buffet, and to get some well-deserved rest. And I'm here to talk about the mission trip that we went to in Perry, Kansas, Alpha Christian Children's Home, and what we accomplished there. And I have guest speakers that are going to come up. And then after my wife talks, we'll dismiss for junior church for those. But anyway, I looked up to see what a mission trip is. And you get the official Wikipedia or something definition. It says a mission trip is defined as an experience where Christians go into the world to help those in need, whether that need may be physical or spiritual, work together to meet the needs of that community. Or in other words, you get a bunch of people that are willing, you throw them into 3 pickup trucks and you drive 12 hours. That's what we did. And we went to Christian Children's Home. We went there, and basically our daily thing was we got there on Saturday, spent the night, went to church on Sunday, got our food and supplies in for the week. Went down to the house. The house we worked on is called Alpha House. When we were there 4 or 5 years ago, before pre-COVID, we put a floor in, and it was still there. Had some paint on it, but it was still there. So it was a rough week that week. And we did some other things, and all that stuff was still there too. But the mission of the week was the parents that were running that house had to go take care of their parents, so they want to redo the house. So our job was to get all the bedrooms in the whole house, all the holes. And as Jeff said, he's the leader of this group, Alpha Christian, Jeff Malpas. We've had 450 kids come through here in the years. There's a lot of holes. Yeah, there was a lot of holes. But we spent the week painting, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But our daily routine was get up around 7:30, go up and eat breakfast, be there at 7:30-ish, go up and eat breakfast, and we were on the job site in an hour. At 8 o'clock, work till lunch, then work till 5 o'clock. Tim was a brutal taskmaster. And you'll get to see that here in a minute. We called him the PC PM project manager, among other things. They were all good things. But he called him nothing behind his back. But I got some people that went with us, and we had 10 people go all together. So let's click the first person up there, Tim. That's my wife. She's the one that keeps me calm and on straight. It's a 24/7, 365 sometimes job, but she does it. She should be commended. But she worked with Becky and Kathy to cook all the meals, and then they came down and worked on the house. She was the shortest one, so we put her up on the ladder to do all the trimming. She did all the trimming, sanding. She was a good trooper. She put up with me, so that's enough to be said. But she did a good job, and I was glad she got to go. I've been on a lot of mission trips, and she goes, "This is the first one I've ever been on." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." But we always had kids. They couldn't go. So last time we went, I took Andrew. This time I took Elizabeth. So if I don't do anything else, I took my kids on mission trips. All right, Diane, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Watch it.
Yeah, took everything. I was very happy to get to go on the mission trip. Like Russell said, this is the first one I've got to go on with him because I was always home with Andrew when he was little or Elizabeth was too little to go. It meant a lot to me to be able to go and help out there. As I was painting the rooms or doing the trim or sanding, I would think about all the kids that have gone through that house and all the trauma that they have experienced in their young lives that kids should never have to go through. And it really made me feel blessed that I could help in one small way to help that mission, to be there to give them a safe place to live, a place to learn about Christ, to know Jesus, because we know He's the ultimate healer and He's the one that can help them. And as I was painting in the rooms, I would say prayers for the kids, that their experiences that they had would help them heal and help them grow. I pray for the house parents, for Jeff and Devon, because it takes such a special person to work with those kids. They have so much baggage in their lives and so much anger from everything that happens that it really takes someone special to work with them. So I just feel very blessed that I could just be a very small part of helping with that mission and what they do there. Is that good?
That's good. Just like we rehearsed. Okay, for some reason Thomas is not here, and he probably called and told me why, but my phone didn't work. But bring his picture up. Thomas Keeling went on, this is the second time he went on the trip with us, out to the ranch. When we got there, the house had been painted. It looked good, but it's all indoor paint on the outside. So Jeff said we have to repaint the house. So him and Elizabeth and Cohen painted. He did the big bulk of that, but Cohen was, well, you'll see here in a minute, the high guy. And Elizabeth was low, get painting on the bottom. His also job, as you'll see in the next picture, was to keep Cohen on the ladder. But he worked really hard. I could see from the last time he went to this time the maturity that's happened in his life. He's graduated. He worked a couple years. He didn't complain. He just went and did his work. And he needed a time away, and it was a good time for him. So keep him in your prayers, and we'll keep working with him. All right, next person up. There's Cohen. Now, when we get there, there's 1,000 trees up there, and the first thing he wants to do is climb a tree. And Walt said, "Nope, you can't climb a tree. You're going to get hurt. So see where we put him." But Cohen did a great job. He's very meticulous, so we put him around the windows. They had these orange strips around the wood trim that was painted orange. I just like to leave it, but no one said that. So he had the task of doing that. There was those gables. There was 3 or 4 of them. He worked on those, and did a great job. And Liz was up there helping him some. But he was really good. On a Wednesday, we had lunch with the kids, and he was really good with them. He's out there teaching them soccer, playing with them, really jumped in and did a great job. Let me see anything else. And we gave him a hammer too. But he did a great job with that. So Cohen, come on up. He's going to tell you how he felt about the week. He likes to talk, so I might have to shut him off.
I don't know what I did to you. So, as you can see, I pretty much had 3 jobs. Bully Tim, very specifically Tim, he deserved it. Do the jobs no one else wanted to do, and eat as much food as humanly possible. I don't know how much food I ate that week, but it was a lot. But I enjoyed it a lot. There was a lot of interesting characters there. Jeff was amazing. He came and preached to us a couple times, but I loved all the people there. They were so amazing. That place, once you walked in the house, you felt a certain energy coming off of it, and you just knew that this place was going to be a home and not just a house. And I wanted to do my best to make it look nice. I tried, as you can see. And honestly, giving me the hammer was a bad idea. I don't know why they did that. That was your fault. I can't even help you there.
Cohen's one of those guys that has a lot of information. He spews it out, and 67.8% of the time it's true. He's going to be great on Jeopardy one day. But no, he did a great job. Like I said, the thing about that is Jeff told us at the beginning, he goes, what ministry are you doing here? We're thinking we're going out and painting houses and stuff. Yes, we're painting houses so these people can bring these kids in, have a place that's safe, that looks really good, that's well taken care of, and so they can learn about Christ, so they can feel loved. As my wife said, Diana, a lot of kids, a lot of trauma, a lot of things that should never happen, a lot of different problems. And Jeff, that's one of the reasons I like going about there, is he comes in and gives us little bits of wisdom every day. Last time we were there, he was able to spend a lot more time with us, and he came in and gave us a little parable how it brought the whole day together. And he does a great job. But we'll get to him. Okay, the next person is Walter. Walter did an amazing job. Walt did an amazing job. First, he was my driver, and he did a good job. Every once in a while, I'd hear the rumble strips, and I said, Walt, are you all right? I'm just looking at stuff. Said you and Dave looking at stuff. But no, Walt was able to do anything. We had some big holes, and he filled those in took a lot of time to put drywall in. He did a lot good spackling. He was good with the kids. They all think he was, after Adam and Eve, the next one born or something. They call him the old man all the time. As you can see that picture, if you can see it, that's after he just got done sanding, so he had like a white beard and everything. But no, Walt was patient with the kids. He did a good job. He fixed the walls. He sanded. He was just there. He worked well with the kids, the adults. Yeah, and back to Cohen. That kid, on the day we ate lunch, he ate 8 hamburgers or something like that. Jeff said, yeah, it's always you skinny guys that can eat all the stuff. Us big guys eat a peanut and we gain 20 pounds. But no, come on up, Walt.
It was great to go there. Really, it's the first time I ever got to go on a mission trip, so it was a lot of fun to do it. But as you can see, I had a mask on because of my lung disease. It's a good thing I had a mask on with all the dust I was working in, because the room would get so dusty from dusting stuff. You open the door, it looked like a cloud was in that room. I had a fan in there blowing the stuff out, but it seemed like it was going out and coming right back in. But dust was everywhere. So yeah, I had my beard. I trimmed it after I got home because it was pure white, and my hair was pure white. I looked like Santa Claus. But the thing is I got there and did all that work I'm not used to doing. I found muscles I forgot I had. But it was good work. Jeff is an amazing guy. He's took on a job there that it just amazes me what he does. He is constantly on the run. He's constantly got stuff going. I mean, I don't know what time he starts in the morning, but he starts off early, and he works till late. So that guy deserves every bit of help we can give him.
Thank you, sir. All right. All right, Becky. Becky, according to the kids, is an amazing woman because she puts up with Tim. I did forget her. Don't, I'll never be let this down. Elizabeth, I looked at the wrong page. Elizabeth went, this is her first mission trip. If you see in this picture there with the round circle, she's just got a little paint, and we're all laughing at that. She goes into the next room and drops paint again, and it hits in her eye. So that's where she got her nickname, Painted Eye. But she did a great job. She worked hard. She didn't complain much. She got out of bed later and later each day of the week. But she did a good job. I was very proud of her. She made sure that Walt and Tim were harassed at all times. Her and Cohen got along, which was scary. But her, Cohen, and Thomas worked well together. There's some pictures of them playing chess together, and we played cards at night. It's really fun to play cards with Thomas because he's real loud and stuff, and really brings the game together. But I have my daughter come up now, and she said, I asked her last night what she's going to say, and she said stuff. But she said she'd work on it, so. I'm sorry. You're just so quiet.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard you say that. This was my first mission trip, and I don't know if I don't think there is anything I would have preferred to do over my spring break than go on it. I came back and it was just awesome. I went back to school and I was able to say that I actually did something over spring break. Like he said, I got pain in my eye, but other than that,
and my shoulder throughout the week kept getting worse and worse from basketball, but it was just part of it, and it was amazing to go on. I kept Tim and Walt in line because someone needed to do it. And it was just an amazing experience. From the moment you walked in to the moment you left, it was something that you couldn't trade in for anything else.
I thought you would tell the ugly duckling story. Tim kind of said he was good looking when he was young, and Becky was an ugly duckling, and it got back to her. So I don't know how that happened, but he's still here, so it must not be too bad. I think he's been sleeping on the couch. But as I said, Becky is an amazing woman, according to Elizabeth, because she puts up with 10. Her and Diane and Kathy made the food, and then they went and done other jobs. Becky was our primer person, so her and Diane teamed up. Diane on the ladder and Becky on the roller. So come on up, Becky. She not? Oh, there she is. Now's your time.
As they said, this was an amazing trip. It's my second time. I don't have the words for what it meant to be able to do this for the children. It's just incredible. I would recommend it to anyone. It's beyond words. Thank you.
And then our project manager, Tim, he kept everything moving along. He knew how to do everything. As he said, I can do a lot of stuff. I'm not professional in anything, but I can do a lot of stuff. And he kept it going. I got an email from Jeff, and he said that the painters, they had a painting crew coming in, so we had to get ready for them. Said that we did an amazing job. They thought it was really good. And I think that was Tim's leadership with us, and everybody working hard. And there was no complaining. They just kept working. Now, last time we went, it was in the summertime. It was 100 and some degrees every day. So it was hot. We went and there was 80 degrees one day and 30 degrees the next morning. But other than that, we were able to be outside all the time. So as you see, here's Tim. He's in the closet spackling. He's there checking for holes and doing the inspection on the wall there, making sure we got every little hole. And we did a great job, according to Jeff. So Tim, come on up.
Can hear the chuckling already. All right, contrary to popular belief, I am inspecting the wall. I'm not laying hands on, so just be aware of that. And I know Becky was, she just didn't have the words, and I understand that. I mean, she got to spend a week vacation with me. So what a blessing, huh? And Cohen and Elizabeth, No, I don't have the words for that one. They were amazing. They did a great job. I enjoyed my time with them. They worked very, very hard, and their hearts were right there. It was all about the kids. And probably one of the best times we had was Wednesday when we got to meet the kids. We had a little outdoor cookout. Walt was the cook. I think he had squirrel or something like that, right? Squirrel or possum. It was some roadkill. We're not sure, but the kids loved it. We just had fun, and Cohen and Elizabeth, they were right in there with the kids. I was in there with the kids too, but you know, there was a couple of them that just melted my heart, and I was just overwhelmed, and it really made it all worthwhile. So I was thankful for that. And this was my second trip out there to Kansas. I'll probably never go again because I got such a hard time this one. So from between the Cohen and the project manager back there, but we had a great time, and we just enjoyed it, and we were blessed. God just he was just amazing, and we actually got everybody out of bed in the morning, which was even more amazing. And I even did a few stretching exercises to lead everybody. That dwindled real fast. By the time they got their breakfast done, they were done. So, but thanks for putting this all together, Russell. It was just amazing what you did, and thanks to all that attended and came out. We were just we're beyond words.
Yes.
I would like to put some background information on that photo on the right there. Me and Elizabeth had just finished sanding a room, and Tim came in to inspect it. And what we've decided is Tim was physically connecting with the house.
All right, next picture. We got Dave and Tim there. That was a 30-degree day. We couldn't decide if it was winter or summer. I saw Dave walk out, and I thought he was Frank Griffith. He looked at his Griffith's house when we worked down there. He said he was freezing, but he was working outside, and we were inside. But Dave was chomping at the bit when we got there. He knew that Jeff would have some type of machinery for him to run. We were a little concerned about him running that machinery, but I told Jeff, I said, no, just let him do what he wants to do, and we'll pick him up later. But he did a great job. Jeff came in and said, hey, can you run the, what do you call that thing, skid loader? And Dave said, never drove one before, but I'll do it. And he did a job. He was on truck hauling dirt. He was one day into town to get a muffler and pick up some drywall. Jeff was getting a little concerned. He goes, I just called the muffler place, and he said he left at 11 o'clock. He should be here. I said, well, number one, he didn't go the same way he went. Number two, if there's a tractor involved along the way, he probably had to stop and look at it. But he got back. Dave was amazing. He was our leader, driving some, just, he said he was going the speed limit. I don't know. But we didn't get pulled over. So he was doing a good job. And then Kathy, they're going to come up together. Yes. Kathy I think, had the best job. I don't have a picture of her because I was taking all the pictures at the house. I was going to take a picture of her that day, but she got to work with the kids. Got to be in there with them, helping them out with stuff, and helping. She said, I just don't do algebra. And the teacher said, that's all right. She put her in there, and she did a great job. When Dick passed away, you could tell they wanted to come home. And I came in and I said, hey, you guys want to go home? No, we're here. I said, no, you want to go home. And it went from, yeah, we'll leave tomorrow morning to we're going to leave in 10 minutes. But they needed to be back here, and it was good that they were able to come back. But it was good that they were able to be there for their time. So come on up. Dave, you don't have to talk. Come on up.
Come on.
You might just think of something you want to say once you get up here.
I'm talking? Well, I don't know what you did.
Anything
I helped with breakfast and the lunch and supper with the girls, and also I got to help at the school because I really wasn't doing anything. And so Jeff says, well, I've got a job for you. And I says, okay, what is it? And he goes, I'd like you to go over to the help at the school, which was right next door to where us girls or women were staying. And so I said, okay, I said, just don't let me do algebra. I said, I can do, math. So I met the teachers, and so the one teacher says, I've got a young lady that I think you can really help with her math. And I can't remember her name, but she was such a sweet girl. And so the teacher took me over to one of the desks, and then she moved her desk then up with me. And so I helped her with her math, and she was such a cute girl. And so we spent, about an hour and a half, doing different things. So then it was lunchtime, so I went back over on the other side. And then the next day, I got to help another young girl. She was younger. She was probably about 7. And she was such a cute girl, too. I told everyone after we got home, I wish I was 20 years younger because I would have brought those girls home. The first one that I helped teach had been abused by her father, and she was such a precious young girl. And so was the second girl. I think she was around 7, and so I helped her with the English, and like I said, I wish I was younger because I would bring those 2 girls home. But we had a lot of good time, and we had fun fixing breakfast for the guys and cleaning up, and us women sleeping in the kitchen, in the dining room area. We had so much fun, and of course trying to get Elizabeth out of bed every morning. But she slept until the very last minute. But other than that, we had a good time. I hope sometime that we will be able to go back out and, and help some more for Jeff. And it was such a good time to see Jeff. And I told him, I says, I remember when you guys was just little, you and Katie, because they were the same age, and running around, all the time, and everything, and that I thought he was doing an excellent job with what he was doing, and do it all in God's name. Thank you.
I thought it.
Talk.
Yeah,
Come on.
Russell.
All right. Dave did an amazing job. He did whatever you asked him to do. We put him in his own room. It was a storage room. But he didn't have to climb steps. They had a lot of steps there. But anyway, why go on a mission trip? And why go so far away? Because you bond when you're gone far away. You go to a place that you're not used to. You get to see something that you might not have seen before. And we got to see a place where people are trying to make a difference in the lives of kids. We're trying to make a difference in the lives of the people around them. And they have had a lot of kids come through there. In fact, they were having a kid come back from college to stay Easter weekend with Jeff and his family. And like many of them said, we just did a little part of making a place for that. There's a song by a group called Audio Adrenaline called I Want to Be the Hands and Feet of Jesus, and I want you to go where you send me. And that's the reason we went to Kansas. Jeff came one time and spoke, and we went out there. But then he came, and then there was COVID. We couldn't go back for a couple years. But then he came back again. He was here on the weekend visiting his family, and he spoke. I just felt like we need to go back out there. I'm not saying God told me, but he might have. Because I just had a tugging on my heart that we need to go back out there. You know, Jesus throughout the Bible, he's serving people all the time. He's serving people. It says in Mark 10:45, for even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. And that verse kept going through my mind. And we spent the whole week, since it was the week before Easter, we went each morning in our devotion time, went each day and talked about, you know, what Jesus was going through that week up to his death. And talked about, you know, how, you know, he was serving us by the way that he came to die for our sins. He goes out throughout the whole time of his life, making a difference in the lives of people. And he calls us to serve. He washes the disciples' feet. He says when, in John 13:12 and 14, he says when he had washed their feet, he put on his outer garment, resumed and took place. Do you not understand what I've done for you? You call me teacher, and that is rightly so, for I am your teacher and your Lord and teacher. Wash your feet, and you also ought to wash one another's feet. He was telling them to be there for one another. And throughout the whole gospel, Jesus is working in the lives of people. And then there's messages to us that we are called to serve, that we are to, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. And as I read that, I think about can I love other people as Jesus has loved me? I think about that's a lot of love. But, you know, that's why people go on these trips. You know, the two kids that were in school, they took their spring break and went. Thomas took a week off of work and went. And people gave up their spring break and their time to go do it. But they did it because of loving one another. They did it because they wanted to make a difference in the lives of other people. Now, you heard the stories and the laughter and stuff like that. But the real thing that happened is the next step is happening. That house is going to get painted. Another group will come in. They'll put the flooring down, hopefully. And in a short amount of time, it'll be ready for new kids. They already had kids ready to come in, and they're kind of stacked up now, putting them in different places. They're in the process of interviewing two a husband-wife team to be the house parents. Now think about that. You go and you insert yourself there, and your job is to take on these kids that are broken and bent, and you're taking care of their daily lives. You're doing that. And they try to get them involved. It was hard to meet with the kids because, like anybody else, they had 4-H projects, they had church stuff, some of them were in some sports things because they're trying to make life as normal as they could, just like if they were at home with their family. But they were at home with their family because I heard many times kids calling their house parents mom and dad because they felt that, these people have taken the time to do that, to make a difference in their lives. So that's it for now. I would ask you to pray for Jeff Mulpus. While we were there, he had a vertigo thing, and he had we didn't get to see him much. He just like a man with a chicken with his head cut off, doing so much. So he really needs lifted up in our prayers. He really needs it. And he had to spend, and when I texted him on Tuesday after Easter just to see how he was doing. He said that was the first day he didn't have a headache, and he hadn't had any vertigo, so the world stopped spinning. But his parents, the Mulpuses, they're sitting back there in the corner, raised two amazing sons. And we got to experience time with both of them, with the weekend in the Word with Chris, and we got to spend time with Jeff. And I would like to plan another trip out there but we don't have to go that far. We're looking for places now around here to serve. So if you have ideas of places we can put a group of people together to go make a difference in the lives of people around you, then we give them to me, and we'll try to figure out how we can help people. Because that's what it's called about. It's when you're helping people, that's when you also have the opportunity to tell them about Christ if they don't know him about Christ. And that was the amazing thing Jeff said. He goes, we've been telling these kids, telling them all the stories about the Bible and about Christ and stuff, and he goes, now they're starting to get it. They're starting to say, hey, it's just not these teachers. I'm not believing it because they're telling me to. I'm starting to see it work in my life. So keep those kids in their prayers, because that's their ultimate goal. Their goal is to make them safe, but their ultimate goal is to introduce them to Jesus Christ and let them know that he's there for them. Our invitation hymn is Amazing Grace. Okay. Why don't you stand and we're going to sing that. Be praying for those people that we talked about this morning. And like I said, if you have an idea, I know this is a little different, but Larry wanted us to give a report to let you know that we're just not talking about the Bible here, but we want to go out and do what the Bible says.